Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Sellers Podcast. I have with me today my co-host, my ride or die.
Kelly, the eCom mom ward. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm
Girl,
worn
I'm
out.
tired too. I've already taken a nap today. I'm so glad that you're here, Kelly. I missed you last time. Of course, we were in the middle of the summit, and so I had to do it by myself, but that's all right. It was a quick one. It was some little short podcast. But in any case, Kelly and I are here to share with you e-commerce news, tips, and more. And I am so glad that she's here. So, Kelly, just get a quick update on what's going on with you and how things are going, and then I'll give you a quick update on me.
Well, it's me and my husband's anniversary was this last week. 27 years.
Happy anniversary!
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So we went to my parents yesterday and had dinner there and played some games. We were trying to figure out stuff to do,
Uh-huh.
and because it's hard with our work schedules. To find something. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go see the Houston Astros play. Because apparently here, I'm in Houston, okay? I'm like just north of Houston. You can only watch the Houston Astros on a certain AT&T Sports Network channel. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
Whatever.
they have to be on ESPN one Sunday. So if I want to watch my baseball team, and we cut cable. We're just Netflix, and I have YouTube TV, so I can watch my Texans. But we can't watch our team, and so I have to listen to the radio anytime I want to, catch a game. So I was like, well, let's go watch a game, but they're playing up in Cleveland, so
None of that sounds right or fair. Let's just say
no.
that.
I'm like, okay, why can't you watch your own team? I can understand maybe when they're not in town that might happen, but
Yeah,
even when they're at home,
can't watch them.
can't watch them. Not unless you have this AT&T Sports Network channel. But if you don't have cable, you know.
Let me just say that's stupid. That's stupid. You should be able to watch it. So I am getting ready. I mean, this is tax-free weekend. Of course, this was the tax-free weekend. And so getting the boys ready for back to school because school starts for us Wednesday. Last year it started on a Thursday. This year it starts on a Wednesday. I wasn't ready for that. I was like, Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Weird day to start school. But anyway, school starts on a Wednesday and we are right there. Like, so this
I
has
don't
been
have to worry
crazy.
about that no more.
I know you know.
Uh-oh. Did you freeze or did I freeze? Uh-oh. I think she froze. Or did I freeze?
So somehow we lost.
There we go. I'm going, did we freeze? I don't know. Who froze? Me or you?
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, this app, I don't know about it. I don't think I can do it anymore. I'm trying to hold out. I just don't think I can do it anymore. Just too many crazy glitches. But in any case, what I was saying was one's I got 10th, 11th, and 12th, and the other I got 11th and 12th. So I got a few more years, but that's okay. And then, of course, Nicholas will probably go beyond. He'll probably go for a couple extended years after. So anyway, it is what it is. I probably got at least another 4 to 5 years in the school system. Oh, I thought it'd be done. But in any case, that's all we've been focused on, and tax-free weekend, and trying to figure out what we're gonna do, what to get. So we only have a couple of hours left to get stuff for tax-free weekend because it's about to come to an end. But in any case, so Kelly and I are here to share with you e-commerce news, tips, and more. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Kelly start with the e-commerce news. So Kelly, the floor is yours.
All right. I'll start with everyone's favorite Amazon. Um, sometimes, um, when you get that check coming in, I'm starting to actually selling some stuff I've had listed as merchant fulfilled. I'm selling Halloween stuff that I had listed merchant fulfilled. So that Halloween stuff's going out.
There you go.
Um, but Amazon will begin to automatically authorize customer returns requests on certain types of goods, including sexual wellness products, professional medical supplies, and professional dental supplies. States how they will treat dangerous goods and items that are non-returnable by law differently. So you might be getting some stuff sent back to you. You're like, I don't think they should be able to return that, but you know. So that's just a heads up. That's going to start August 31st. They are also launching a new courier-like service in major cities like Dallas, New York, San Francisco. For uh, Prime members will get this free, and there will be a $9.99 delivery charge for non-Prime members. So it would be like you order from like Sunpack or certain things, and they'll have their Amazon Flex driver go pick up the item and bring it to you, so you get it same day. So that's a new. It's called. I read about it. It's called like I can't remember what it's like. Amazon something, Amazon Today or something like that, and because they also talked about how people who want to put their store on it and so they can try to sell stuff through that venue, how they can put that for on their ways of selling stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like my brain is tired.
I understand.
Etsy is encouraging their sellers to get into the Labor Day sale, run a sale from August 31st to September 6th. But this Labor Day sale will only be available to people who shop on their Etsy app. So it's only going to be if you run this sale, it's only going to be on the app. So that's going to take a lot of the population who don't do buying on apps out. They also thought this was interesting. It's numbers. Numbers are sort of numbers. They broke down holiday shopping season into distinct periods. So I
Okay.
thought this is something that might perk Nicole's ears.
Always.
Always. Okay, start with Halloween. Halloween picks up because you can sell Halloween stuff year round.
Right.
But Halloween picks up August 1st. Like I said, I've already been sending out Halloween's, decorations. It peaks October 3rd and tapers off Halloween Day. So I'm just knowing that means you better be getting that Halloween stuff up because people are already starting to get ready for it. And then there's Advent.
Where did this article come from? Tell me where this article came from because I'm always curious.
This was from eCommerce Bytes.
Okay.
Where
All
I
right.
picked it
Awesome
up from.
sauce. Okay.
Advent picks up August 15th,
Okay.
peaks October 15th, and tapers off December 25th. So I guess like that the Advent calendars you see out there. Thanksgiving picks up September 1st,
Okay.
peaks November 4th, and tapers off Thanksgiving Day.
Love that.
Christmas, same time, September 1st. Uh, Peaks at on Thanksgiving, tapers off Christmas Day. And this is a different one. Christmas Jumper Day. Apparently, it's a UK thing. United
Okay.
Kingdom, England, over there.
Across the
That's
pond. Yeah.
yeah, that picks up October 1st, peaks
Okay.
at December 5th, and jumps off. Cool tapers off on the 25th. And Hanukkah peaks. It picks up October 10th. Peaks November 9th, and tapers off December 10th. I said talked about Thanksgiving, but don't forget Canadian Thanksgiving. They have their Thanksgiving in October. So if you're in Canada, you might have to think about those numbers differently for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right.
I love it.
eBay's inviting all sellers to ask questions about its research tools in its next monthly chat. That session will be August 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Choose you like a little
That's this week.
Yeah.
That's this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Write that down, guys.
Yeah. They're talking about like Terapeak and stuff. I love using Terapeak to research items that are. Did you freeze again?
I hope not.
Well, I can hear you. Yeah, you're just frozen on the screen. But Terapeak, I use to research. You can research what price items sold in the last year, so you can look if you got something that's a Christmassy item. You can see, did it sell for more during the holidays? So maybe at the holiday time, you might want to increase the price or something because of or does it sell more off the holiday because you might be the only one that has it because everyone else thinks they got hold their holiday items too close to the holidays.
Okay.
So you can do a lot of, and plus sometimes you have stuff that might be not so prevalent. So it might have only sold, it might be something that's more rare and it might sold, but it was like last October it sold, and you can go back and see what it sold for with this Terapeak tool, which is free to use if you have an eBay store subscription.
Okay.
I love it. There's a new niche marketplace coming out. It's called Gear Exchange. And it's a place to buy and sell musical instruments and audio gear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then according to one article, online sales were up 11.7% in July, mainly because of like Prime Day and such. But they also said some inflation, some are inflation impacted prices, such as groceries going up. They're up 16.8% year over year. Due to the food price increase. Yeah, I have been doing, because like I like my caramel flavored coffee. But now that's almost $8 at my grocery store, the one I was getting. I can get another brand for $5 and something off of Amazon. So I start running out. I just go to Amazon and reorder, or you can do the subscribe and save even more. So people might be, they're looking for the deals. Apparel and jewelry sales saw strong demand-driven year-over-year growth. Consumers are hunting for deals, and they're more likely to shop over different channels now. I mean, my mixer broke this last week. Was it last week or week? Went to turn on my mixer, and it wouldn't do nothing. So now I'm looking, and I'm looking for a new mixer. My husband's like, "Can't you find one at the thrift store?" I'm like, you might find the mixer, but it might not have all the parts. So Yeah, so I've been comparing prices over a couple websites.
The dog is saying hello. It's all right. Hey, dog. All right. Anything else?
No, that was it. Still, you know, that's all I really saw. It wasn't too much else.
Okay. Well, I have a couple of news pieces, so let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. So let's start with the first one. So Amazon, this is on USA Today. Amazon pauses 18 warehouses in 12 cities, bringing the total number of site changes to over 40. So, based on, I know that there's been some slowing of activity and some changes, and because of the unions, they are changing their warehouse strategy a little bit. So you can read this article inside of USA Today. It's in the money section. This article was from, oh God, what day was this? August the 2nd. So you can go and read it. But yeah, 18 warehouses put on pause in 12 states. So that's 40 site changes. It's probably more than that by now, as of today. Then there was an article that was in CNN, or there was a news article that candy tasters sit at home $78,000 a year to eat candy. Now, this is on CNN Business. This article is from August the 1st. I mean, if you're interested in doing it, they are looking for tasters. Dun, dun, dun. Work from home job as a chief candy officer. $78,000 a year. So you guys can go and look at this article. I thought it was interesting because, again, it's candy. So we know that this is the time of the year that a lot of people are going to be buying a lot of candy from now to the end of the year. And because there's going to be treats that kids will give to teachers for the first day of school, there's going to be treats that people will be making, and then you're going into Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So candy's going to be the deal. Sweets are going to be the deal from now to the end of the year. So I thought that was an interesting article. Then this article comes to us from the street, and let me just hold on, if I can get the article. So after a failed sale, Kohl's has a new plan to win over customers. So they're going retro. They're going for an 80s and 90s trend nostalgia. Now, let me just say this. Because we were looking at stuff for tax-free weekend, like a bunch of the clothes that my son was interested in when we went to Kohl's site, I was like, oh, I know that. Like, why is this coming up? So anyway, this is from an article from the street on July the 30th. Kohl's, again, they've been negotiating, and people who have been trying to buy Kohl's, different companies were trying to come together to buy Kohl's. So this is all designed to bring back Gen X fashion into the department stores with trends from 90s nostalgia. So I thought that was interesting. Just seeing this article, you can go and read it. That may be something for those of you who sell clothes. You probably want to make a note of that or be aware of that. Because that might, I mean, I feel like it is a trend. Some of the stuff that my son is interested in, I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, I can remember, some of the stuff that I was interested in way back in the day. I know I'm ancient. Um, and my mom would say that was from the 70s. So I guess not all fashion, but a lot of fashion comes back around. So anyway, they just modernize it. The next one is Shopify makes $100 million strategic investment into marketing automation startup Klaviyo. I don't know if this means that at some point, and I didn't fully read the entire article, whether or not they're going to try and integrate, Klaviyo into Shopify or not. It is a great tool. So, yeah, granting. So those who have Shopify's premium merchant plan, Shopify Plus, while granting Klaviyo early access into development. So it looks like there probably is going to be some level of integration. Those of you who have Shopify accounts might want to be aware that Klaviyo is a great marketing tool. If it's great for automated email notifications. And so, yeah, something to look into. There's a lot of, email automation that's in this space, but this comes to us from TechCrunch, and this article is from August the 2nd. Then we have this comes to us from News Nation. Families turn to the dollar stores, but are they do they cause harm? So I know there's a few different things that the dollar stores will sell some of the same stuff that regular stores sell, but they just sell them in smaller quantities. Like you can buy Crest, and at the store it might be, I don't know, 20 ounces, and you can get a 16-ounce at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree anyway. So there's different versions of it, but I guess there's some concerns about some of the other products that might get sold here. So in any case, you can read this article. This is News Nation, and talking about the low prices, slowing the clock on produce to reduce waste. So they're extending some of the products if you go and buy things. I know that the 99-cent store sells groceries, meaning produce. I know they do sell produce. I don't know. The Dollar Tree does not sell produce. I don't remember if Family Dollar General does not. Correct? They don't sell produce, do they?
Some stores do. Like there's a new store that opened up down the road from me, and
Uh-huh.
it has a little produce area. But I've never
Okay.
bought the produce because it's extremely expensive.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
way more than I could pay.
so basically, they're saying that some of the better deals can be deceiving, and for customers. And I agree. Sometimes, if you actually look at the sizes and look at the quantities, like sometimes it's not a better deal, but there are things that are a better deal. Like I find better deals all the time at Aldi's, which is not a dollar store, but it is a discount food store, I guess, or a different type of food store. So I do find better deals at some of the other stores. I have bought a few things from the Dollar Tree. Like we'll get the French fry sauce, the seasoning. All right. So Best Life has an article. USPS suspends these services. Now I think Kelly has talked about this in the past. So it's not really new news. It's just that the article made its way over to um, the article made its way over to Best Life finally. But I think there was a couple of locations where they had some issues, and so they suspended some services. So, and then there's also some things that they no longer do, or plans that got moved over, and the prices have changed. So I know that we've talked about some of the changes that's been happening with USPS over and over again. So the next one is TJ Maxx and Marshalls are under fire for selling recalled products to shoppers. So I know that there was a whole thing that we talked about with Amazon, I think last time, with Amazon, some products that were listed on Amazon that Amazon got in trouble for net. So now TJ Maxx and Marshalls selling some recalled products. So you might want to pay attention to the products if you shop at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. You might as well throw Ross in there. Probably there's probably some stuff from Ross too, but you might want to pay attention to it. This article comes to us from Best Life, and it is from August the 3rd. So those were the news articles that I had, and there's probably some more news that we may have skirted over for right now. We'll try to go back and pick it up and go over that. But the one thing I do want to point out is Kelly mentioned eBay is having their sort of review of the tool Terapeak on August the 10th. Make sure you write that down, and that you sign up for that. And what do they have? Is it on their website, Kelly? Is that where it's going to be?
Yeah, I believe it's through their website is where you can sign up.
All right. There's probably an email in your back office if you're an eBay seller. So go take a look at that. Make sure you don't miss that opportunity for them to show you if you've been wanting to learn how to use that tool or to get more familiar with the tool. This is your opportunity to do so. All right. So with that, we are going to go into some tips real quick. So this is 10 recession-proof product categories. Since we are, I don't know, we're in a recession. We're still dealing with it. So I feel like I've gone over these, but we're gonna hit them today. I don't know that I've gone over them in the podcast, so we're gonna hit these up. So Kelly, I'll let you take the first one.
Okay, staples, replenishables, things like food, beverages, household products, personal products, tobacco. I don't know tobacco. Yeah, you might have to have a license to sell tobacco, the things that people need just basically to live. They're gonna need their food, their beverage. Stuff to clean, stuff to personal stuff like soap and shampoo and such, and whatever their vices, if they need tobacco, alcohol.
I mean, people who are smokers, they're still going to go to the store and go buy their
Mhm.
cigarettes. And that means that even if you can't sell the tobacco, you can probably sell the accessories like, or maybe you can't, but, lighters. So people will have a covering case for their lighter, or maybe a little packet where they carry their cigarettes and their lighter in. That might be something that you might consider. All right. The next one is baby products. So people are not going to stop having babies in the recession. They're not going to stop making them, and they're not going to stop having them. So all the babies, all the baby stuff is still going to be necessary. We know that there was a formula shortage. I feel like there's still sort of a semi formula shortage going on. So things like, I mean, we already know formula. People are going to need baby wipes and diapers, depending on what country you're in. Like diapers, I think are a real big thing in the U.S., but in some of these other countries, they're like, we're not doing all that. And then,
Yeah.
but baby products, baby care products, all of those things. If you have a newborn baby, or you have a toddler, you have an infant, all of those things that they're going to need. Those are things that people are going to continue to buy. They may, go to some secondhand stores to buy a couple of these things because, they can get some of the clothes from the secondhand stores. And even there, the prices at the secondhand stores are not as inexpensive as you would think they should be. But in any case, baby products, think about all of those. People are still going to be buying them. If you can think it, people are still going to be buying it. Okay. Next.
Coffee, tea, and energy drinks. Yes, amen to coffee. I gotta have it every morning. You know, and there's people that they have their monsters or Red Bulls, and there's the people that like their green tea or boba tea or iced tea, sweet tea. Everyone has that pick me up in the morning.
That boba
And
tea is full of sugar. It is so full of sugar. It is just a sugar. You just pour water over
I
sugar, and that's what that is.
I haven't tried one, but I'm trying to cut out a lot of sugar. So,
Yeah.
um, but I gotta have my coffee, and I put it, and all my accessories with it. You gotta have I use my stevia, my coffee, and then I use my sugar-free creamer in it. And then you got your coffee travel mugs. You got coffee, just regular mugs. You know, but when then I got, believe me, I'm in the coffee groups, and people have coffee setups with coffee signs and everything to for their little coffee area.
Yep. Think about all the stuff that goes with all of these things. If they're buying the coffee, they probably got some kind of setup to go with it, including, your coffee makers.
Yep.
Clothing. So even in a recession, people are still going to buy clothing, and even if they don't buy clothing brand new, they're buying it at a secondhand store. But right now, I mean, there's a lot of clothing deals that are out there, especially right now because of back to school. So I think clothing is going to continue to be affordable in the midst of the recession, which continues to contribute to the problem of fast fashion. So if you go do some Google searches on fast fashion, you will see what it is and how bad of a situation it is. But in any case, people are going to continue to buy clothes. They're going to continue to order clothes, and I think maybe two podcasts ago, Kelly and I were talking about, some of the platforms are going to be like, you just keep it. Like if you buy something, instead of returning it, just keep it. And which is a crazy thing because people might just randomly just buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff and then never have to return it. But in any case, clothing is one of those things that's considered a high return rate. And so if they don't want the clothes back, like the clothes will go somewhere, maybe people will resell it online. I don't know. Maybe it'll find a second home. But clothing is definitely one of those things that people will be buying. And right now there's crazy deals on clothes everywhere. Everywhere. It's just bananas.
And if you do plan to sell used clothing, I do sell used clothing. I make sure I put my measurements in there. I measure it out, the at least the basic measurements, and I rarely have any returns. I had returns, yes. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna have any, but I don't have a lot. So, most of my clothing it doesn't come back.
There you go. All right. Pet care products. So pet care, pet products. So dog food, people are going to be buying dog food, cat food, bird food, fish food. If they've got pets, they're going to be buying food for them, of course. They're going to be buying some of the accessories they need. People will adopt pets during, recession as well to keep dogs from being euthanized and cats and whatnot. So, people will go to the pet shelters and get a new pet. So that means they need stuff for the new pet. And so think about that. In addition to like stuff for grooming the pet, stuff for basic care, like a toothbrush for the dog or the cat or whatever, brushes, a leash, a pole for the cat to climb onto, all of those things, anything that's pet related, a pet bed, a gate, a cage, whatever, they're going to continue to buy those things in the midst of a recession.
Yep. Candy. Yep. I mean, you got, people come home and they, after working long day, and they have their favorite little things they want. They want their candy, or maybe they're going, get ready for trick or treat. That happens, and you gotta get your bucket full of candy for the trick or treaters. And then you have the Christmas candy, and then you have Valentine's come around, and then next thing you know, it's Easter, and just this always some sort of holiday, and there's always some kind of candy associated with it that everyone has to have. They gotta have the red, white, and blue M&Ms, and then they gotta get the green and red M&Ms, and then the pink and purple red, just all themed the candies.
Yeah, it's going to be. That's one of the things. If you go and do a little bit of research on your own, candy sales in the midst of a recession, like they have always like been there. So people will continue if they don't buy anything else. Like sometimes they'll buy candy over food, which is ironic. But I mean, sometimes you need something for energy, and sugar is a form of energy. It will give you energy. So go
And then
do
you'll
some
get the
research.
crash afterwards.
Yeah, you'll have the crash afterwards, especially if you're diabetic for sure. All right. So movies, TV, video games. So movies, people are like Kelly mentioned before, like she's got Netflix. I have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. Gosh, what do I have? I'm trying to think of all of them, and Amazon Prime. So those are the ones that we have. I don't have YouTube TV though, but I do have all of those. And people will get rid of their cable and keep some of these other subscriptions if they feel like it's more affordable or economical or cheaper or whatever. I got like the Disney Plus bundle. Sorry, the Disney Plus bundle that gives me Hulu and I forget where everything that it gives me. And then I have a Prime account, so Amazon Prime the Prime Video comes with it as part of a Prime membership, so I'm not paying extra for that. So the only thing that the price went up for me is Netflix. Like everything else, the price did not change. And video games, people need something to stay entertained, especially if they can't go out and spend a lot of money. So they'll spend a little bit of money on video games. Not that video games are inexpensive. Depends on like if you already have like the equipment, then you can buy buy some of the games online, or you can get points or tokens or whatever. I always have to ask my son what they do. And then, so TV. I don't know. I feel like this might be incorrect for recession, but there might be some deals on TVs because again, people may not have the money to be able to go to the movies, and so they might just switch out and do more things at home. I feel like TV sales have been crazy for the last couple of years because I don't know a house that doesn't have a flat screen TV. Like if you still have, I mean, you can still have the TV with the big back on it. I don't even know what you call that, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Console
sure.
TV.
Yeah, a console or the one that you sit up on top of something and it's a big heavy joker. But in any case, I don't feel like those TVs like I don't think they're in existence anymore. If people have them, they're probably sitting. I don't know. I don't know. They still work. I'm just saying, it's just more people have flat screen TVs. So I feel like movies and video games. Yes, I don't know about TVs being recession proof, but maybe they are. I don't know. I just got this data, so there you go.
All right, camping gear. People want to still go on vacations. They may not be able to afford the hotels and you know, the fancy resorts or flying everywhere, but they can go, camping. That doesn't cost too much. You just pack up some food, clothes, and a tent, and basic stuff like a stove and uh, plates and stuff, and enjoy the outdoors. Maybe go fishing, catch some food, for your dinner,
Yeah.
and spend time off grid, off the internet, off your phones and stuff.
Yes. Yes. We all need a little bit of a break, especially from the internet and from the news and from the media and from social media. And people are just, sometimes they're just doing staycations. I can remember when times were tight, doing a little camp out in the backyard with the kids, even if you don't go camping, just, I mean, kids, it's easy to entertain them sometimes. So, you could pop up a tent in the living room and they will think that's fun. And or put one in the backyard and they will think that's fun. So sometimes it doesn't take much for parents to entertain kids and for you to feel like you're having a little getaway. So camping gear, cosmetics in the midst of a recession. This one, there actually is a bunch of data out there about how cosmetic sales continue to stay stable throughout recessions. And they've gone back and all the way back to the Big Depression. That if you were buying makeup before, women would continue to buy makeup. Not only that, like they would continue to work on doing things to take care of their hair, be able to, their appearance. So cosmetic sales, they don't take a huge dip during a recession. They actually continue to go on, which is very interesting. And everything around that, like fake skincare and stuff like that, like during a recession, there'll be deals on that stuff, but sales will continue. Sales volumes will continue. The numbers may go down because they may have put some deals out there, but the volume is still pretty stable, which is interesting.
Automotive parts, yes. People are like, well, I can't really afford to get a new car, so I'm going to just try to keep this old one and older one, and I'm going to fix it myself. Anytime something comes up, I'll try to fix it myself. But back in the old days, it was easy to fix that stuff because that computer, there was like no computer in the car. Now the computer, the cars have computers, so it's a little harder to be able to DIY your auto repairs as back in the day when everyone was tinkering with their cars every weekend and in the driveway. Can't do that anymore. HOA will get you. But
That HOA, let's not even. Anyway, go ahead.
so but there's still like people still make sure they have fix a flat or make sure they have the whatever lights, maybe they can change. They want to change out the light bulbs in their car, or they broke the back. They broke the, they backed into something and broke the light, so they want to try to change it out themselves instead of having to bother the insurance, and then their insurance rate go up. So, people will find ways to cut corners to make sure that their rates and everything don't go up.
There you go. So I agree with Kelly. People are fixing their cars over buying new cars. I had to explain that to my son. I'm like, look, dude, we are going to be fixing the car because we do not want a car payment. Okay. This is not the time to take on a car payment. All right. So, with that being said, I hope this is helpful for you all. Hope that you'll use this list to come up with better sourcing, or sourcing that you know will stand the test of time, at least for the next however many months that we're going to be in, whatever this is, this recession. Um, so, keep that in mind as you source inventory for the next 15 to 18 or 24 months. Some of the stuff that we just went over. I do want to let you know that if you're an eCom sellers customer, if you've ever bought any of our summits, if you've ever bought any of our mastery programs, or if you're an active academy member, we're going to have a boot camp that's starting on September the 15th through the 14th, through December the 14th. And so it's going to be on Thursdays instead of Wednesdays, but we're going to get together during Q4 and do everything we can to help you all maximize your profits. So look for those emails if you are an eCom sellers customer, if you've ever bought any of our summits, if you've ever bought any of our mastery programs, or if you're an active academy member. We're going to be doing a boot camp September the 15th through December the 14th. It's going to be on Thursdays. It's going to be in the evenings, and the replay will be available in the back of your membership websites, whichever memberships you have access to, whether it's eCom Sellers Summit, eCom Q4 Summit, eCom Sellers Mastery, or eCom Sellers Academy. It'll be in your back office as we start this journey, starting to get ready for Q4. We're going to cover a little bit of everything. We're going to cover retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. We're going to cover wholesale. We will cover drop shipping. We'll cover print on demand. We'll dabble, and we'll also cover white label. That we won't cover private label as per se, but we will cover white label. So we want to make sure that you're ready for this Q4. So look out for the Q4 bootcamp. We just want to thank you for being our customers over the years. Next year will be our 5th year. I can't believe it. But in any case, we just want to say thank you. So look out for that and sign up as soon as you see it. And let's get together and get ready for this Q4, because Q4 is coming. All right. In addition to that, the Q4 Summit just ended. And so if the All Access Pass recordings are available, the membership site has been updated. There's like maybe 2 or 3 bonuses that are still outstanding. Maybe 4 bonuses are still outstanding, but the majority of the bonuses have been added to the membership site, and the videos have been uploaded. So we invite you to sign up for the eCom Q4 Summit training to help you get ready this Q4. We had 16 amazing speakers to go over everything you needed to know to get ready for Q4. So all you need to do is grab the All Access Pass. And once you grab the All Access Pass, you'll be able to log into the membership site immediately and begin watching the video so you can put together your game plan for getting ready for Q4. And we do invite you to sign up for the RAOA leads. The RAOA leads, which is retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, the arbitrage leads list. You get the arbitrage leads list. You'll get 50 leads every single week for $12.50, pretty much. 50 leads for $12.50, which is a ridiculous price. And if you bought the All Access Pass for the eCom Q4 Summit, you're actually going to get 3 months of leads absolutely free. So if you want to do a trial run, just go get the All Access Pass. And then that way you can do a trial run for 3 months. That's probably an easy way to do it. So the RAOA leads is starting September. Sorry, the ones for the All Access Pass. For the All Access Pass members for the Q4 Summit for the 3 months, the 2022 Q4 Summit, not any prior Q4 Summits. For the 2022 Q4 Summit, that starts in September, where you get September leads, October leads, and November leads. And you get 50 leads a week for 12 weeks. So otherwise, you can sign up for leads and you can get 50 leads every single week for $12.50, pretty much. And so we just invite you to sign up to get your leads. You can use the leads to help you source inventory this Q4 to find products to sell on the different platforms that you sell on. We don't focus on any one platform. We source inventory or look for opportunities so you can resell these products on multiple platforms, not just one. So just keeping that in mind, we go through and we vet the list to make sure it's good to go and give you an opportunity to be able to sell those products. So go ahead and get the RAOA leads list. And then last but not least, I did want to mention that the 2023 eCom Planner is coming up. So the 2023 eCom Planner is coming up. We do have a discounted price. If you want to pre-order it, you can go to myecomplanner.com right now. You can pre-order your 2023 eCom Planner, but the 2023 is coming up. And so we want to give you the opportunity to grab that while it's out there. So with that, let me get back over here. Okay. There's me and Kelly. So this is another edition of the eCom Sellers Podcast. Kelly and I are so grateful that you come to hang out with us. We do this every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, giving you the opportunity to get some more e-commerce news, tips, and more. My name is Nicole Whitlock.
And I'm Kelly, the eCom Mom Ward.
And we'll see you next Monday for another episode of the eCom Sellers Podcast. We are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.
Bye.